Hi, everybody. It's Dee Slater with Create with Dee, and welcome to our Wednesday night stamping. I'm excited to share with you a couple of projects that I have for you tonight. There'll be two different lives. I'm going to do this project here first, only we're going to make it for Christmas. It's Christmas in July. And so we're going to have it as a peppermint kind of theme on here. And then I'll come back for another one. On the second one, again, I'll shut off here, and you might have to refresh Facebook to see me come live again on it. This was a project that we did last week. I think I'm getting my weeks all mixed up. Here locally, it was a tea boutique suite of products that we were playing with, and I thought that I would share this with all of you guys, but we'll switch it up for Christmas and other motifs on it. So you'll see the project that we did using the tea bundle, and then but we'll be making things differently. Okay, let's jump right in and make this. Okay, let me switch cameras here. Get this removed for now. Okay. So I'm going to be using the Sweetest Christmas suite of products here. Hi, everybody, and thanks for again letting me know that there was a little bit of sound issues there. So hi, Janet and Marge and Janet and Lori. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to be using the designer paper and the Sweet Candy Cane bundle. It's this right here. And then it's got two really nice sized candy canes, and part of the dies with it, the candy cane dies, is you get this really neat background candy cane stripe. You'll be seeing this on another project. Actually, it was on my July card class. If you guys want to look back at that video, that shows that as the background. Okay, let's jump right in on this. I'll move this out of our road for now. All right, so all of the measurements will be up here on the video and on there, so you don't have to worry about trying to write anything down. You can just refer back to this as we get going. But we're going to start out with a piece of cardstock. This is basic white, and it is cut at 10.5 by 3 1/4. And I've gone ahead and scored it already. I'll kind of just bring this in as a quick little visual. I've got it scored at 3 1/4, 4 1/2, 7 3/4, and 9. So let's go ahead and we're going to fold those all in the same direction here. And let me get my bone folder. It has been rainy here in Northeast Indiana. And in fact, my phone just told me a little bit ago that we got more rain on the way. Yikes. Okay, so this is it. This is the whole container on how this is going to fold up and house our tea bags that we have in it. So this is the outer edge, and the mechanism, let me just show you the inside of this. So when we open this up, we've got 6 different holders here for our tea bags. It would help if I showed you the project on the inside, right? So we're going to be using the 3x3 basic white envelopes to hold our little tea bags here at the end. And so this is where we're going with it. So this is the outer portion of that, and that's all that we need for that. I'm going to set that aside for now. The inside of it, we have a piece of, this is 4x3, and it's scored every 1/2 inch. All right, so what I'm going to do next is, so it's just scored at every 1/2 inch. I'm just going to press back the score lines right now, just so that you can see that it's scored every 1/2 inch. Okay, what we want to do is, first off, we're going to use some tear and tape. We're going to be making these little holders here on the inside that we can attach our envelopes to. All right, so I'm going to get my tear and tape. And for me, the easiest way to tell you to do this is we're going to take the tear and tape on the outer 2 sections here of the box, or of the little folding mechanism. Okay, so I'm going to just go ahead and put tear and tape on either side or the far ends. And we're going to go ahead and we'll tear up the tape. And what we want to do is we're going to fold it inward. So we'll attach it to the adjacent one. So we're folding it in. And we'll go on to the other side, the other outer edge. And we're going to do the same. We're going to fold it in like so. Now when we're done, in essence, we're down to 6 panels. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What we want to do is I'm going to fold this in half to get the ridge here. And then I'm going to fold this in and fold this in. So this middle here makes like a little W, okay? So we're going to have this V. We're going to adhere these two together. So when we're on panels with 6 panels, we're going to come in and put tape in on panel 3. Okay, so I'm going to put this here. And we'll get that pulled up. So if we configure, if you can do this part of it right, we're in great shape. All right, and so now this end, so now we have something that looks like this. And now I'm going to fold this up and this up. So when we're done, we have these 2 U's or a W. Okay, so we started out when we put the middle in like this, the 2 that we kind of doubled over gets turned up and it looks like that. All right, so now I'm going to put tear and tape on these 2 sections here. And we'll put those in. And then these 2 sections are what we're going to put on the inside of our T folder. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take these out. And again, there's our W. Put this in. So I'm kind of going to hold it like this. I'm going to bring this in. This section right here is going to be our bottom. So here's, these are the 2 smaller ones. That's going to be the lid. And we're going to put these right here in the middle. I'm going to stand up. And center that on this panel here. And as long as I stay within those score lines, I'm good. All right, so now I have our little, what do I want to call it? We have a little something here now that we can attach our envelopes to. All right, let's go ahead and let's do some decorating. So for the inside and outside of our little box here that we're going to make, we're going to add designer paper all around the outside of it. So I'm using the this sweet candy cane. Is that what it's called? No, Sweetest Christmas. Sweetest Christmas designer paper. And I'm all about doing this as candy canes. And so for the outside of it, we're going to need 2 3x3s, and for the inside, 2 3x3s. And then you can have, and I put on here that you can use either 1 or 2 of the other measurements. And I'll go ahead and we're going to use 2 of each for the inside and the outside. Okay, so I'm going to put the lighter stripe on the outside. Is that what I want to do? No, I want to do the darker one. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get my liquid glue, and we're going to do lots and lots of gluing here. Let's see, I'll look up here. It's like I see Doreen and Chris. Hi, hello, hello. All right, so this is going to be on the outside. It's 3x3, which is great. This is a 12x12 piece of paper, designer paper. So, you know, you can really you just need about one sheet in order to do all of that. So that's the outside. And again, we're like this. I kind of like to do the 3x3s. If your paper does have direction, just make sure that you know what it looks like when it's closed up. Okay, so I'll do this one. Of course, you can use whatever pattern of paper that you like, whatever time of the year. I just wanted to give us some Christmas ideas here. This section here, this is going to need a 1x3 piece of designer paper. That's going to be the box top. You'd probably want to be a little more careful with putting your designer paper down than what I am. I'm just kind of hitting that liquid glue pretty quickly here. And then this is going to be the flap. I'll do that. Line that up. All about the peppermint. Okay, so here's where I'm, well, and then want to decorate the inside. Let's go ahead and do that. So the 3x3s go here. I could use either side of it. Because this is a light background with the basic white, I'm going to use the more bolder pattern on that. And put this in here, 3x3 and 3x3. I got this project online. They had it measured a little differently, and I modified it so that we could use our live in our 3x3 or the 3-inch world for our paper, as well as use our little mini envelopes. Look how cute that is. Just a cute little wraparound box already. Okay, so and on the one that we made at class last week here, we just did we just decorated the outside. But if you wanted to, you could decorate the inside of it as well. And so I thought for this one that we're doing here, I'll go ahead and do so. That way, when you see the measurements, I said on these smaller pieces that you could use 1 or 2. Depending on what you wanted to do, and the second set would just go to decorate the inside flaps. Oops. So I can do that. So then it's decorated everywhere that you see. Okay, so that's the box. Now comes the fun with the envelopes. I haven't used my 3x3 envelopes forever, and then this project came along, and they actually used designer paper and made their own envelopes, and I said, heck no, we're going to save some time and we're going to use these 3x3s. Oh, Chris said that she's got some candy cane tea paper that would go good. Awesome. Oh yeah, I so am thinking, like, I was trying to find the Bigelow peppermint tea, and I forgot to buy some to put in there, so the whole thing would have been like dynamic with peppermint. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm tucking the flap on the inside of the envelopes. If you wanted to, you could take these over to your trimmer and cut the flaps off, but I just find it just as easy to tuck them in. Oops, I say that and then it's not working out for me. How's everybody doing here tonight? Appreciate everybody tuning in on it. Life got a little hectic last week. I wasn't able to pop on as planned over the weekend. Sometimes I get overly ambitious for what I can get done with you guys on the weekends and stuff when hubby is gone. He was gone all last week. And then between that and some other things that were going on, it just, the timing just didn't work out for me at all. And I hate to schedule something and then have to back out, but sometimes that just is what happens. So I thought that's why I'm going to double down tonight and hopefully get caught up on some of the projects that I wanted to do with you all. Okay, so that's 6 of the envelopes all tucked in. All right, so next we need an additional 6 3x3s, and these are going to go on the outside of our envelopes. What I'd like to do first though, is I'm going to take a little notch out of the top of them. You can use whatever little punch or die that you would like to do. I've got some retired circle punches. It doesn't matter if it's 1, 1.5, whatever that you want. And I actually am going to punch 2 at a time. So I'm just going to kind of go and eyeball it. Punch. No right or wrong reason for how much you do. You just want a little bit so that your recipient knows that there's something in there. And they all don't have to line up. You know, if you have direction on your paper, you just want to make sure that, you know, you're punching at the top of your paper. Okay. So now that we have all of that, where our envelope flap opens up here, that's where we're going to put the notch. And so I want to be kind of careful here. I don't want to have any glue go over here because I want to make sure that it closes. So what I tend to do is just go on the outside and about halfway up, and then you can come here at the bottom of the flap with your liquid glue. And we'll just put that on. Okay, so again, you want to make sure that you're doing it on the side that's open here where you've tucked it in. And we'll go ahead and we'll get those done very quickly here. And I don't know why I did it on the envelope. Hopefully that works. I'm going to choose the bolder colors again, just because I like that. Ooh, I got lucky. Woo! Let's do this again. And you can mix and match. Like if you do want to put the candy cane, let's do a candy cane one here. So again, we'll do the designer paper first about halfway, do a little bit up here, and then put it on. If you have a tea lover on your holiday list, this would make a great one. You could get his or her favorite teas and you know, and give a nice little assortment there with it. Maybe you make homemade cookies or something else to go along with it, and it's just a nice little gift that you can make without breaking the bank. And this is the 3rd time that I've made this, and I get faster each time. It seems a little intimidating at first. The hardest part is this little W thing here. Just watch it several times. Make it with me on some scrap paper until that, you know, it all kind of comes together. All right, and one more here. We're rounding home. Woohoo! And let's see, I'll use this side. Again, you might want to be a little more deliberate than what I'm doing here. I also wanted to give the girls that took my class, this is kind of their video tutorial as well on how to replicate it. All right, now it's a matter of what order that we want to do our designer paper. These are going to go back to back when we put them here. And so let me see. I think kind of want to start with a green, I think. All right. So here's where we can do liquid glue or tear and tape, but quite honestly, let's go ahead and let's just do tear and tape again. What we're going to do is we're going to put tear and tape on either side of these flaps that are sticking up. So that's where we get our 6 sides. I'm going to go ahead and get those on here. So we made a couple of projects at class, and this was the first one that I did because I knew that I was going to really stretch our minds putting this together. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just do one at a time. Don't want to have too many things sticky here that are open. All right. So let's see here. So this is going to be the front again. So I want the front pouch to be facing me, and it just goes right here on the edge and press. And when I flip this down, they're going to go back to back. Okay, so let me bring in the sample. So you want it to have your notch, and then when you flip it down, it's your notch on both sides of it. Okay, so that way they have access to either side. So then if you turn it this way, whichever way has the sticky on it, that's where you want to have your back to back. And I kind of like to stand them up so that they're even. The envelopes are even. Hope that makes sense. That way, those two. So I sandwiched them so you have the access on either side of it. You could sew do Tombow instead of the tear and tape. You could do that. I just want it to be like, I don't want to wait for the Tombow to dry, or for that to dry here tonight. But you could use any strong adhesive on the flaps. Hope that answers your question, Chris. I just kind of glanced down. All right, again, making sure that you've got your the access on either side. And then we'll do our last set here. And then we're down to decorating. Let's see. Oops, I wasn't really planning that just super well. And you can see here that I kind of got a little crooked. That's okay. Just kind of self-correct it so that the, our little pockets all match up. Here, Doreen says she likes the tape. It's just personal preference, whatever you like, or even what you have on hand. All right. All right, so those are our pockets. If you wanted to, you could even add some adhesive in between those to keep it secure. I don't mind that they're a little loose. I think it kind of helps if you, like, especially if you decide that you're going to fill them up with something else. Okay, so just to kind of show you, so these little, the Bigelow tees that are wrapped are really nice. They just tuck in here nicely. And when you get 6 of them in there, it really fills them out. All right, let's do some decorating now with this. All right, so ahead of time, I've gone ahead and I've got a lot of die cutting done just because the box was our main construction here. And what I've done ahead of time is with those candy cane dies, I die cut out the opposite dies of the left and right candy cane. This is from the designer paper, Sweet Christmas. So there's 2 sheets that have tons of these candy canes that you can just use your dies and get the stripes all ready to go. Because I want these to be a little more secure, I also cut out 2 backings out of Real Red, and let's go ahead and just put those down. Okay, so I'm going to do this because what we are going to use with this is it's going to be our little flap tucker, like what we can tuck our flap into. I don't know that that was a word, flap tucker, but that's what I'm going with right there. All right. So I do have some other ideas of some things that we can put into our little pockets here. Also at a time out of Garden Green, I did a stitch circle and a smaller stitched circle out of Basic White. And from the stamp set, let me just bring that in again. From the Sweet Candy Cane, I'm going to use Candy Cane Wishes and Mistletoe Kisses. That's the one that I'm going to use here out of Real Red. And my local gals don't shock, but I actually got one of the new Real Red ink pads instead of the old design. I finally am breaking down and getting some of they're not really so new anymore, but the new pads. This is going to be like super juicy. And we'll get that down. All right, I'm gonna let that dry for just a second. That's all that I'm going to have for that at the moment. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to build my candy canes. I'm gonna crisscross them like so. And I think I'm just gonna use a liquid glue on those. So just kind of in the middle. So I just want to slightly to cross about right in there. Actually, I'll just kind of put the liquid glue on that part of it. All right, and now with the dimensional, I'll go ahead and I'll pop up my sentiment. Candy cane wishes and mistletoe kisses. And get that over top. So even right there, that's a cute idea for you guys if you'd like that idea to use for a card even. All right, so now I want to put this here, and I know that this is going to be a pretty large embellishment to keep our lid in here. And so maybe I might not even need this backing. I think I'm going to take this off. Oops. So I want to just be able to tuck it in just like that. Okay, I think that's what I'll do. It's a pretty big embellishment. I totally get that. I'm going to put it right down here, whoops, towards the bottom. Might even be too big, but I just wanted to show you guys the candy canes. And then, oh my gosh, that's so cute. And that's our little tea box. I did want to share with you, and Doreen kind of hinted at it. Doreen, great minds think alike. The peppermint Ghirardelli squares are not out yet. At least I didn't find them in the store. So as we get closer to the holidays, to Christmas, so to do that, you could have your peppermint tea in there, and then maybe on some of the other ones, you could have a couple of little chocolates on here. So maybe do half and half. Some other ideas that I was thinking, and this is so nice to have that little pouch there. And then you can really, you know, step up those envelopes quite a bit. Other things that I was thinking of that you could do is if you wanted to, you could tuck a little, like maybe tea and chocolate in a couple of them. And then the other ones, maybe you wanted to tuck some money or a little personal note that they could pull out. Like it might even say like, you know, Christmas wishes, have a little story, whatever you'd like to have. Maybe if you were giving it as like a care package, you could have some like comfort sayings that you could print up or handwrite on it. Of course, there's a lot of real estate here for even more decorating that you could do. So you could have 6 more sides on the front of those envelopes. So just really have a lot of fun and, you know, put your creative juices to go on it. But that is our first project of the night. It's a little 3D tea box. And again, here's one that you could use anytime. Like I just think besides the candy cane one here. Oh, and I put a magnet on my sample one. You so don't need it. And that's why it's getting kind of crazy there. But you know, what a cute little care package that you could give somebody that's a little bit under the weather, some of their favorite teas and that, or for the holidays, you know, we can do our peppermint teas, our peppermint candies, a little cash in it, and we'd be all good to go. All right. If anybody, let's see here. Marge says it's pretty for Christmas. Thank you, Marge. I really appreciate that. Thank you. All right. So this is project number 1. I'm going to sign off here and I'll get ready for our card that we're going to do. I have like a quick little tip on a card layout, and then, you know, I'll go live here pretty soon. So again, you might need to refresh it. Okay, everybody, happy crafting. I'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.